Almost fell over there. That would have been a cute video. Hi everyone, welcome to episode, I believe, 7 in a series about banging on a budget. How to play drums and not spend a lot of money. And for those looking at this video, first time experience to me in my series, I was employed, had the money to buy high-end equipment, had a lot of high-end equipment, and took an early retirement and really got rid of everything and had to come up with a new perspective on drum expenditures. I like to have a fair amount of equipment. I like to collect equipment. I like to have different playing options when I go to play drums. And but I couldn't do it like I did. I couldn't have high-end Gretsch kits and nice sonar kits and nice Ludwig snare drums in my new situation. So I had to find a different way to go about it. And that's what this series is. I found that I've been able to really have a lot of fun and still pursue my hobby of music and drums and having equipment, even though I'm on a much tighter budget. Excuse me. I've been talking in previous videos about used equipment, vintage Japanese stencil kits, the odd snare that you find on the internet. Those type. We had a legend drum that was kind of a mystery drum. I talked about a couple videos ago. I talked about some restored Japanese kits. But tonight I'm going to talk about banging on a budget with new equipment. And what I've got here, and you probably can't see much of it, but I've got a sound percussion drum kit. That's a bargain going in. I think the 4-piece jazz kit goes for $249, $299, depending on what website you're looking at, Guitar Center or Musician's Friend or what have you. Sometimes they have a sale for $199. Well, I was looking for a little kit that I could try. I wanted a 20-inch bass drum, 12 up, 14 down, but I wanted basically kind of a rock, funk, blues kind of kit for down in the basement here, just to fart around with, quite frankly. And I kept looking at the budget new kits, and all of a sudden one day, 4-piece sound percussion kit, 12, 14, 20, 13-inch snare, pedal, hi-hat, cymbal stand, $149. I'm trying to remember who I bought that from. I don't remember who the distributor was, but I scarfed that up and put some new heads on it, which we all do. I don't look at that as investment. You know, we get kits, even high-end kits, half the time we change out the heads. And what I did is I put some coated Emperors on the batters, and on the bottoms I had some clear Gretsch, that came with one kit or another, Gretsch Rezos that I put on there. And I think they sound great. Then I matched it up, again, looking for a snare, and I'll talk to the snare that came with it. It needs a little work. But I was looking for something more rock and roll, a little deeper, and came across a Gretsch. Wanted black to match the kit. It's like a dark charcoal. Probably mahogany. The Gretsch Catalina kit. It's a 6.5 by 14 with 10 lugs. It's going to hold its tune really well. You can get probably a broader range of tuning with it. I've done some things over the last few days on 6 lug drums that I think are fabulous. But this thing seemed like it had all the right things going for it. Nice warm mahogany, nice depth, 10 lugs, and I think it was a 79. At worst, it was $89. These typically would be $179, $169, maybe on a deal $149. $89 for a snare drum that's 6.5 by 14 with 10 lugs. Holy smokes, I can't pass it up, so I got it. And so this is a new kit, and here's what the drums sound like. $49, $89 for the snare. I'm kind of liking it. That's where I twirl the sticks. Been down in the basement too long, folks. I don't know. I think they sound great. If you don't think not, put the comments in. Don't be kind. Okay, I've got a fragile ego, but good Lord, you know, do you have to spend $4,000 for a 4-piece shell pack and another $2,000 for a set of Istanbul Agop or K Zildjians or something? This is a Wuhan cymbal. I think I got it for 70 bucks. I know I got this one for 50 bucks. Got a set of hats. You know, I think I spent 50 or 60 bucks for these. I gotta give you guys facts. But I mean, good Lord, man, you can get into this hobby for no money with good sounding stuff. Absolutely good sounding stuff. And the build quality is pretty good. Is the chrome plating as heavy and as deep? Nah. Are the wraps glued all the way around, or are they just glued at the edge? Yeah, they're probably just glued at the edge. Would this stand up to professional gigging every night of the week for 20 or 30 years? No. Don't buy it for that. But for farting around in your basement and playing the occasional weekend gig and having fun playing along to music or jamming with your buddies or having a set at the practice studio, man, oh man, you know, you don't have to spend a ton of dough. And here, let me show you something here. Take this apart a bit. It's made from basswood. And I hear guys on the internet, oh yeah man, you know, Luan, Philippine mahogany, it's a step up from balsa wood. And basswood is, oh, that's that cheap stuff for the beginner set. You know what? Maple is a little more scarce than birch. So maple's a little more expensive than birch. And birch is a little more scarce than basswood. Basswood's very common, especially in North America. And so it's less expensive. Notice I didn't say it's bad. I didn't say bad, I didn't say cheap. I didn't say poor acoustic, I just said it's more plentiful. So it's less costly, which is why it's used in less expensive drum kits. If you're trying to get to a price point that's low and compete at the entry level of the market, you're going to use something that's plentiful and cheaper, more cost effective. I like that terminology better. But doesn't mean it's bad. And then here's the thing. I hope I'm doing this right. Look at the bearing edges. Now those are 45-degree bearing edges. They're modern bearing edges. But that craftsmanship is great. It's absolutely fabulous. I've had vintage Gretsch round badge kits with bearing edges. You wonder what the hell were they doing back then? And those drums still sounded good and got better with age. And this will get better with age. If you treat it right, it'll last a long time. You know, when you talk about entry-level Japanese stencil kits, well, the kits that I'm showing you are 40, 50, 60 years old, and they're still here. How long does a kit have to last? Okay, I'm 68. I don't think I need to buy a kit that's going to last another 50 years, okay? But some of you young guys want to do that, but you can do that. And this kit, treated right, will perform for you and last a lifetime. Would I gig every night with it and change it? You know, I think the hardware would fall apart. But will the shells and the sound of the drums be there for you? Absolutely. Now, if you can afford something fancier or something that suits, you know, is more custom, you know, I want this finish, I want that color, I want these size drums, well, you know, then you can do that. You get your Pearl Master Series, which you can order just about anything you want, or any top of the line drum company, and go for that. You know, so if you got the disposable income, go ahead. But what I'm saying is, you know, this is excellent quality and very, very affordable. I'm going to talk about the snare for a second that came with the kit. I don't know that I need to do that, but since I'm talking about buying a kit new, and I don't have the snare up here. And the reason I don't is it sounds like caca. But it's the fault of going to a price point, and I'll lower this down a little bit. Going to a price point from a marketing standpoint, and they've got cheap heads on it, and a cheap, I don't think it's a strainer so much, but the snares, I didn't think snares made that much difference, but in this case they do. I did put a Remo Ambassador on here, and actually when you hear this, you'll be surprised that I'm telling you this, but it actually sounds better than it did before. But well, I worked on this before doing the video. It sounds actually a little better than it did before, but just almost tom sounding. You can hardly hear the snares, but if you loosen them up, that's horrible. So you gotta, I'm trying to, if I take them up much higher, then I'm just gonna choke it out. You know, do I hate it? Yes. Yes, I do. I hate it. But it's still not horrible. And if I got a set of Pure Sound snares and put something on there other than this thing, which is like, you know, it's a little thicker than toilet paper. You want a thin head down there, but not this thin as this. This thing is just ridiculous. I took back everything off and totally, and it was just like, you know, crazy. So here's a snare drum again. As I was putting heads on here, on this drum you'd have to get your Ambassador on here, or your control sound or whatever, or if you're an Evans guy, put your G2 on there, G1. Or if it's ringy, although this isn't too ringy, you put a generic HD dry in there, it's going to be, you know, have almost a studio sound to it. But that was the weak point of the kit. But it was the weak point because of the heads and the snares, not because of the shell, not because of the rims or the hardware. It was strictly getting this to a price point. It wasn't made in a back room somewhere. It's probably made in a huge shop in Taiwan with state-of-the-art equipment. It's just a matter of, you know, trying to get a price point and be competitive in the marketplace versus similar brands. So with that, hope you enjoyed the stick twirling and throwing. Lots more things to talk about. I've got some more kits to look at. I've got some cymbals and snare drums. I know I've been pumping out a lot of content, but I've thought about this channel for a while, and I'm anxious to get some things out there. And then, of course, being a drum equipment gearhead nerd kind of guy, once I've showed you all my equipment, then I have a reason to get more equipment. Feeding into the addiction. Might have to trade some things out or sell some things because I don't have the money to have 10 kits anymore. But look forward to, and I'm getting some nice comments from some guys. Ross, I thank you, sir. You've been vociferous and interacting with me. Want this to be a hang for guys who enjoy drums and enjoy equipment and enjoy talking about it and checking stuff out. Anyway, look forward to the next video, and hope to hear from you guys. Please like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.